Hello, everybody. Welcome to this short and simple introduction on how to install and use aBox. aBox is a Vagrant box LAMP stack. LAMP stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. It is based on CentOS, and CentOS is a Linux-based operating system. Now, as of this recording, aBox is using the latest version of CentOS, which is build 8.1.1911. Now, aBox is easy to install, ready to go, with minimal configuration. So developers can just focus on creating their application instead of tinkering with their system settings. A lot of developers actually chose to use virtual machine or virtualized machines such as Vagrant to create an isolated environment for their workspace to increase consistencies with their code. This means that if you are working in a large development team where some people are using Windows, some people are using Mac, some people are using Linux, you can accommodate all those different environments through aBox because it will create a platform consistencies with their individual development environment. The other main advantage of using aBox or any Vagrant boxes is that it allows developers to mimic certain configurations of their production server. Why I say certain? Because some configuration that is specifically configured for a production server may not be viable enough to be to be configured in a virtual machine. So those are the two main advantages. Obviously, there are a lot more advantages to using Vagrant boxes, but this tutorial is really not about that, so I will not go deep into that. Now, aBox can run on different platforms. It can run on Mac, on Windows, on Linux. As long as you can run VirtualBox and Vagrant on your particular environment, you can run aBox. I'm on Windows at the moment, but the instructions should be the same for Mac or Linux. Before we start installing aBox, you will need two pieces of software. The first one is called VirtualBox. Now, VirtualBox is an open source virtualization software. It is available for free. It's available for Windows, Mac OS X, different distributions of Linux. Just download whichever suits your platform. But please bear in mind that aBox or any Vagrant box requires the VirtualBox extension pack. Without this extension pack, aBox will not run correctly. The last piece of software that we need is Vagrant. So if VirtualBox is a virtualization software, Vagrant is a tool for building and managing those virtualized environments in a single workflow. You can just download whatever version that is available on the Vagrant website, but you have to remember once you download Vagrant, you will need to also install a plugin called the Vagrant Virtual Guest plugin. That plugin is also very important for aBox to work properly. I will demonstrate on how to install that as well. I will put all the links for the software in the description below, so you can just click on the link and go to the website and download everything that you require. So please follow along and enjoy the ride. Now, the first step for you to start using aBox is to download the aBox Vagrant setup file from aBox.cloud. If you go to aBox.cloud, on the top right hand side there's a download button. Just download that. It will come in a zip format, so just extract it to a folder anywhere you want, and you will find one folder and two different files. So I have downloaded the file to my desktop, and I'm just going to extract it. So you have one folder and two files here. Now, the folder is called website. It has another folder inside called HTML, and there's a placeholder. Now, inside this HTML folder is where you should put all your PHP code or your HTML code. Whatever you put in this folder will be served by the Apache web server. Please bear in mind that this folder is linked to your htdocs folder or your document root. You can put all your code here. The next file that we should be concerned about is called Vagrant file. There's no extension. Now this is the Vagrant box setup file. There's really no need to modify anything here unless you want to further customize the box. So let's just leave it as it is for the purpose of this demonstration. But please take note of this IP address here, 192.168.33.10. Okay, this will be the IP address required for you to interact with aBox. Now, let's open up your command line shell. I'm just going to open command prompt here, and then I am going to cd into the folder where I extracted the file. Okay, now all I need to type to start aBox is just vagrant up. Now what this will do is that aBox is stored in the cloud in the Vagrant box repository, so to speak. What this command will do is that first it will find whether you have downloaded aBox before your local machine. So if you have not, it will go online and it will download that for you. It may take some time for the file to be downloaded, but don't worry, this process will only happen once. You will not have to download this for different projects that you're going to make. aBox itself is really focused on per project based environment. So even though it's per project, you don't have to re-download aBox again and again. Okay, so I'm just going to press enter. Now this is going to take some time, and I will just pause the video here and I will come back once aBox has finished configuring itself. Now that Vagrant has finished installing and configuring itself, you will notice that there is a folder being mounted onto the website folder in your local machine. That's the var www folder, which is one level above the document root, the default document root, which is var www html folder. That's the standard that Apache web server comes predefined in. And what we want to do next is to make sure that we have the Vagrant VB-Guest plugin installed correctly. In order to do that, let's just open up another command prompt and let's just check if the plugin is installed. I've installed this before, so I don't need to install it. But if you were to install it, the command you need to issue is basically Vagrant plugin install and the Vagrant plugin name, which is Vagrant VB Guest. Okay. Now I'm going to press enter. It will take some time to get the plugin installed, but since I've already installed it, it should just take a few seconds. Okay. That's done. Now let's close this. And the next thing we want to do is we want to actually verify that aBox is configured correctly by going to the IP address that we've predefined in our Vagrant setup file. So if we go to that page, we should see a welcome page. This is the default welcome page for aBox. Now since aBox focuses on one project per aBox, you may want to adjust this IP address, the IP address that you define here in the setup file, to be different from one project to another to avoid conflict. If you use 192.168.33.10 as your first project, maybe in your second project you want to do 11 and 12 and so on. Now, PHP should already come pre-installed in aBox. What we want to do now is to verify if PHP is installed correctly or not. Now, the way we do that is by opening up the folder that you've been working on, by going into the HTML folder inside the website folder. There should be a placeholder file called readme.txt. Now Apache by default will not read this file because Apache will only read files that is predefined, such as an index.html or index.php. In the case of aBox, the two files that will get detected is index.html and index.php. So instead of creating a new file, what we want to do is just rename the file to index.php and just using the PHP info method to check if PHP is installed. If we just refresh the page, and there you go, PHP is working. So now you are good to go and you can start using Vagrant. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I will put all the links in the description below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for future updates. We have more exciting things to come, so if you don't want to miss an update, click on the bell icon. Also, don't forget to leave your comments below. Peace out.